Good morning, grade 9 students. I am Mrs. Florida F. Calvar, your English teacher. Today, we will talk about conditional sentences. These are statements expressing the result of the condition. The result happens when the condition is met. There are two parts in this sentence, the if clause and the result clause. There are four conditional sentences, 0, first, second, and third. Let's talk about the zero conditional. The zero conditional is used to express fact or general truth, habit, rule, or instruction. Ang structure niya ay if plus simple present, comma, simple present. Let's have an example. If you feel down, pray. The verbs in this sentence are feel and pray. These are both in simple present tense. Another example, if the sun sets, it gets dark. The verbs in this sentence are sets and gets. The verbs are both in simple present tense. Remember, zero conditional is used to express fact or general truth, habit, rule, or instruction. You cannot change the result. Expect that when the condition is fulfilled, there is a one exact result. Okay, let's have an example. Zero conditionals. Okay, what do you think is surely to happen if the sun sets? If the sun sets, this is the condition. What do you think is surely to happen if the condition is met? It gets dark. So expect that the result of the condition is this. Okay, if the sun sets, it gets dark. The if clause or the condition in this sentence is if the sun sets. Ang result clause, it gets dark. Okay. Kapag na-fulfilled yung condition or if clause na if the sun sets, one thing is surely to happen. Expect that the result is it gets dark. Now, the verbs in the sentence are sets and gets. They are both in simple present tense. Remember, sa zero conditional, the verbs in the sentence are both in simple present tense. Hindi past, hindi future. Okay, let's have more example. If you heat water at 100 degrees, it boils. Our if clause or condition is if you heat water at 100 degrees. Ang ating result, it boils. So it means if the condition is met, one thing is surely to happen, or expect that the result is it boils. So walang ibang magaganap, walang ibang magiging resulta, kundi it boils kapag ang condition ay if you heat water at 100 degrees. Okay? Verbs here are heat and boils. They are both in simple present tense. Hindi past, hindi future. Another example, if you mix oxygen and hydrogen, you get water. If clause, if you mix oxygen and water. Ito po yung ating condition. And the result clause, you get water. In this sentence, expect na ang result ay you get water. Okay. The result is surely to happen. If you mix oxygen and hydrogen, the result is you get water. Our verbs here are mix and get. They are both in simple present tense. Hindi po past, hindi future. Let's have another example. If I blank Andrea's birthday, Andrea gets upset. Ano pong verb ang gagamitin natin dito? A, forget. B, forgot. C, will forget. Answer? Forget. Okay, remember sa zero conditional, the verbs are both in simple present tense. So we have to use forget and gets. If I forget Andrea's birthday, Andrea gets upset. Next. Okay, alright. Yan. If I forget Andrea's birthday, Andrea gets upset. Okay, next. If The Philippines is the fifth most mineral-rich country. Investors blank interested to put up a mining site. Okay. What should be the answer? What should be the verb? Were, are, or will be? Answer, are. Remember, sa zero conditional, verbs are both in simple present tense. Okay. Sa sentence na to, ang ating verb ay is at are. Okay? Next, job are produced if a mining company blank. A starts, B started, C will start. Answer? Starts. Job are produced if a mining company starts. Okay, if a mining company starts, ayun ang ating if clause or condition. Ano yung magiging resulta? What is surely to happen? Jobs are produced. Okay? Let us now talk about first conditionals. It is used to talk about possibilities in the present or in the past. It is also used to make promises or warnings. Structure, if plus simple present, comma, simple future. Example, if I get a job, I will earn a lot of money. Our verbs here are get, will earn. Get is in simple present, will earn is in simple future. Let's have more examples. What do you think is possible to happen if it rains? What are the possible things, possible result if it rains? I will stay home. I will eat bulalo. There's so many possible results. Okay. If it rains, I will stay home. Our if clause or condition, if it rains, and the result, I will stay home. The result of the condition is possible to happen. Remember, the zero conditional, the result is surely to happen. Expect that the result of the condition, expect that that is the result if the condition is met. Alright? Okay. The verbs are in simple present and simple future tense. Rains, will stay. Rains, simple present, will stay, simple future tense. Let's have more example. If I study, I will pass the exam. If I study, that is the if clause or condition. What is the possible result? I will pass the exam. Verbs, study, will pass. Study, simple present, will pass, simple future. If I get that job, I will earn lots of money. If I get that job, that is the if clause or condition. What is the possible result? I will earn lots of money. Okay. The verb get, will earn. Get is in simple present, will earn in simple future tense. Let's have more examples. If mom arrives early, we blank out. A, ate. B, will eat. C, eating. If mom arrives early, we will eat out. Remember, sa first conditional, the verbs are in simple present and simple future. Next, if you go out with your friends, I blank the football match on TV. A, watched. B, watches. C, will watch. Answer, will watch. If you go out with your friends, I will watch the football match on TV. Verbs here, go and will watch. Go is in simple present, will watch is in simple future tense. Okay, another example. I blank, you play, if you do the laundry. Let's, will let, will be letting. Answer, I will let you play if you do the laundry. Our verbs here are do and will let. If clause or condition, if you do the laundry. Ito yung condition, if you do the laundry. Ano yung possible result? I will let you play. Okay. Next, carbon dioxide emission to the atmosphere will increase if wildfires blank. Continue, continued, will have continued. Answer, continue. Carbon dioxide emission to the atmosphere will increase if wildfires continue. Our if clause or condition is if wildfires continue. Yung condition daw natin, if wildfires continue, what is the possible result? Carbon dioxide emission to the atmosphere will increase. Let us now move on to second conditionals. These are used to talk about something you wish to happen in the future, something impossible to happen. A structure, if plus simple past, comma, would verb. Example, if I met the queen, I would say hello. If clause, if I met the queen. Result, I would say hello. Our verbs here are met and would say. Met is in simple past, would say, would verb. Alright? Would plus verb, would say. Let's have an example. If I won in lotto. This is the if clause or condition. If I won in lotto, what is the result that is impossible to happen? I would buy a car. Okay? The condition if I won in lotto, okay, is a imaginary situation. Okay? This is unreal situation. Hindi ka naman tumaya sa lotto eh. At hindi ka pa nanalo, wala ka pang pera. Pero just in case, okay, na magkakatotoo yung imaginary situation na yun, ano yung result? I would buy a car. You'll see here the verbs are won and would buy. Won is in past tense. Would buy, okay, would plus the verb buy. Let's have another example. If I were you, I would not do it. If clause, if I were you. This is the condition, if I were you. Result, I would not do it. Okay? The result of the condition is impossible to happen. I am not you, hindi ako ikaw. I am not you. This is unreal situation, imaginary situation. Okay? If I were you, I would not do it. Verbs are in simple past and would verb. Let's have an example. If he tried harder, he blank his goals. Reaches, will reach, would reach. If he tried harder, he would reach his goals. Our verbs here are tried, which is in the simple past, and then another verb, would reach. Would plus yung verb, the reach. Okay. Next, I blank these shoes if they fitted. Nasa second conditional tayo If they fitted, I would buy these shoes. Our verbs here are fitted and then would buy. Would you do it? What would you do if it A rains, B rained, C would rain? What would you do if it rained? Okay, our verbs here are rained and would you do. If clause, if it rained. Result clause, what would you do? If clause or condition, if it rained. This is imaginary. Okay? Hindi pa siya nangyayari. Okay? Pero this is expressing your wishful thoughts. So, kung uulan, okay, pero hindi pa nga nangyayari, pero kung uulan, okay, ano yung gagawin mo? What would you do? Next, if a forest fire blank uncontrolled, it would devastate everything in its path. Answer, if a forest fire remained uncontrolled, it would devastate everything in its path. Okay, our verbs here are remained and would devastate. Let us talk about the last type of conditional, which is third conditionals. These are used to express regrets and complaints, to describe a situation that could have happened in the past had a condition been met. The structure if plus past perfect, comma, would have verb. Example, if we had listened to the radio, we would have heard the news. If clause, if we had listened to the radio. This is the condition, if we had listened to the radio. Result clause, we would have heard the news. Our verbs here are had listened and would have heard. Had listened is in past perfect. Would have heard, okay? Would have plus yung verb. Okay? So again, third conditionals are used to express regrets or complaints, pagsisisi or reklamo, to describe a situation that could have happened in the past had condition been met. Okay? Example, if we had listened to the radio, we would have heard the news. Okay, Tagalogin natin. Ang ating if clause or condition, if we had listened to the radio. Tagalog, kung nakinig sana tayo sa radyo. Kung nakinig sana tayo sa radyo. Okay? Something that you regret or complain in the past. Okay? Nangyari na, pero pinagsisihan mo na hindi mo ginawa. Pero, kung nangyari sana, okay? Kung nangyari sana itong pinagsisisihan mo, what could have been the result? We would have heard the news. The result, we would have heard the news. Okay? So, past perfect natin, ang past perfect tense, ito yung may had plus past participle. Ano yung mga past participle? Taken, driven, listened, known. Okay? And then, perfect conditional, ito yung may would have plus past participle. Okay? Would have driven, would have eaten, would have tasted. Okay? Remember, sa third conditional, gumagamit tayo ng verbs na may had. Okay? At would have. Okay? Tatandaan niyo yan ha, yung structure na yan. Let's have more example. If I had added more soy sauce, my adobo blank better. Okay? If clause, if I had added more soy sauce. Kung nagdagdag lang sana ako ng mas marami pang toyo. Okay? Ito yung pinagsisihan niya na hindi niya nagawa in the past. Pero kung naganap sana, okay, kung naganap sana ito in the past, ano yung magiging result? My adobo would have tasted better. Would have plus yung verb na tasted. Okay? Another example. If the government blank that companies would be abusive, they wouldn't have granted them permits to operate. If clause, if the government had known that companies would be abusive, they wouldn't have granted them permits to operate. Tandaan po, sa if clause or sa condition, gumagamit tayo ng past participle. Yung had plus past participle of the verb. Doon naman sa result, yun yung would have. Okay, would have granted, katulad nito, would have tasted. Okay, sa result, gagamit tayo ito. Ito yung result. Ito yung result. Okay, result ng condition. Gagamit ka ng would have plus yung verb. Okay, sa if clause, gagamit kayo ng past perfect which is had plus past participle of the verb. Okay, let's have more example. Mind gym. Okay, let's see how well you understand. Okay, tell whether the statement is in 0, first, second, or third conditional. If I won $1 million, I would buy my own plane. 0, first, second, or third? Answer, second. If I forget Andrea's birthday, she gets upset. Answer, 0. If you heat water at 100 degrees Celsius, it boils. Answer, 0. If you study harder, you will pass the exam. Answer, first. Well, I hope you pass the summative test with flying colors. Remember, you are close to victory. Don't dare to give up now. Thank you, grade 9 students. Bye.